Hey everybody, I wanted to showcase my evolution of card games. So what does that mean to you guys? Well, what it means to me is my passion for making TCGs and card games in general. I really got inspired by a few of you guys posting some of your stuff, and I really wanted to showcase some of my stuff. And I've been making TCGs for years. I've been loving. I love making card games. I love making board games. I love playing them. I'm not the greatest at playing them, but I absolutely have a great passion for making card games. So what I have for you guys here is actually a couple different things. You know, this event's so big I had to do it in my garage. But I want to show you guys kind of where I started up until where I'm at now on making card games, and hopefully you guys can take this video and get inspired by some of the things that I got to show you. So the very first thing I want to say is when I started making card games, I was huge into Pokemon. Loved it. Loved Pokemon. I loved everything about it. I loved trading the cards, battling the cards, coming up with my own way because I hated using energies. So we would just come up with our own way, which is kind of how we play Dreamscape today. But because of that, and because I was a kid, and because obviously being a kid, I didn't have a job to make money. Eventually it got to a point to where it's just like, this is too expensive, so I made my own card games. And that card game was called PD, PD Cards. So it was me and my buddy Derek. What we would do is we would just draw up some cards, and unfortunately I don't have any of those cards to show you. But they look very reminiscent to Pokemon cards. They weren't Pokemon, it was all of our own ideas, but the entire layout was exactly. But after that, I really wanted to come up with my own simplistic way of making a different card game. So I came up with a game called War. It plays exactly like War. There's no joke. This game is, legitimately War. So what it is you had a character, this guy right here, and he has a name right there. You put two characters out, and the one with the highest number wins. That is legitimately how you play the game. There's a couple with some, a couple of certain abilities, like this one's called Grave Robber, but we've got like Warp right here. We have Holiday right here, which is like a mixture of a whole bunch of different holidays like Easter, Halloween, Christmas, and then of course we have Thanksgiving down below. We've got Doodle right here. I thought he was pretty cool. We got Fire Fist. We have Little Killer, and then one of my favorites. Here we go, Ori. Ori's been following me forever. This card is this art has just been around for such a long time, and I've always enjoyed drawing Ori. He was in PD Games. He was in this game War. He's been in a lot of stuff. So anytime I've drawn anything, he's always been in it. So that's pretty much it, though. Like I said, highest number wins the battle, and then you keep going. I think you started with like 20 cards, and you just kept going and going until whoever won. It's kind of a random game. The next game after that, I wanted to get a little bit more technical, and some of you guys might know of this game. It's called Tactic Legends, but there was a precursor to that. This one actually started out and it was just called Tactics. Alright, so these are all hand-drawn cards. Got very much inspired by like games like D&D and stuff like that. So this game is really unique in a way to where you would have a game board, and that game board would be laid out kind of like chess. It's very unique, but here's some of the cards we have. Angel of Vengeance. We have the Blood Fiend, and then we got the Battle Briar, and then we have the Astral Stalker. I don't even remember. Angel of Valor, a Tropple. We've got the Dire Bear, and then we've got a Fire Bat, and then a Tarrasque, and then all sorts of stuff. So really cool game, but I'm like, I want to make something more, professional looking. And at that time, I was just like, maybe I can just Google some art and Google some other stuff. So here is Tactics, pretty much the full color version of where it's not my art. You guys have probably seen the video before, but this is just Tactics. The T standing for Tactics, but here's some cooler cards. I'm not going to read off all the names, but we got a Cyclops and stuff. Maybe I will read off the names. Demogorgon. Again, none of this is my art. A lot of this is Googled. So if you guys are looking for a game to where you just want to kind of, nothing has to do with your own art or anything like that. I was all into it back then, just because I was looking for a more professional feel. But now it's just I have to do my own art. But you'll see that I couldn't get away from it here in a little while. So there is Tactics. So after that, I went with this game right here. This is like Tactic Legends 2.0. And what this game here is you can only have so many characters out. So this one would be classified as a melee just because of the swords right there. So what this would do is a melee attack. It's also got special abilities. So there's Draco. Then we've got this rock golem here. Again, this one's another melee. So you would have each character would be a certain level. What would happen is you play some cards. After every time you kill a card, you would have a choice to choose a prize, just like kind of like Pokemon, or you can level up, so you can use higher level creatures. That was the one unique thing that Tactical Legends always had, was this level up feature, and I think it really kind of worked well and stuck well with the game. Very cool. I really like this game a lot. This game I played many times with a couple people that I worked with, and this game was really fun, really interactive. Oh man, I got 3 of these ash worms. But it was so much fun playing this game. It had spells, it had items, it had all sorts of crazy contraptions, but it was really built up upon this level system, and then also these classes. So this one would be like a magic caster class, and then you would also have a ranged class as well. But this one was a lot of fun to play. So I was like, you know, maybe I should try something else. So then I went with this crazy board. I don't even have the board anymore. But what I would do is you have all these crazy creatures, and you put them around, kind of like an old school board game of some sort, and you'd roll dice to move your guy around, and it was really difficult because almost every single spot you landed on, you were taking damage or getting hit or something like that. So you had all these creatures moving throughout the board, and you'd buy those creatures with these gold coins that you would get from like the gold pile. Like every turn you get like gold. It's craziness. But you get a whole bunch of this gold right here. And then you'd buy these crazy creatures that would have a certain ability to it. So this Too Cute was actually an ability. And then you'd also have, this one would be an attack. And then, of course, you got more gold. This one has fly, so it can fly through, I believe, the clouds. This one has slow, so your enemy would do one less move. Hoarder, I can't remember. Thief would steal gold from your opponent. Switch, you could switch your stronger monsters out with guys that are further along the board. I don't know, it was crazy. Very interesting game though. So I made that, alright? And after I made that, I got really interested in making, you know, card games. And I got inspired by somebody, I can't remember his name. I want to say his name was like Shadow TCG or somebody like that on YouTube. He started drawing all of his own art and duplicating all that stuff. And I got so into that. I was like, man, that is an awesome idea. He started drawing all of his stuff, and it really inspired me to get back into doing my own art. So what I did was just that. So right here is a game called Pandora, which again plays very much like Tactic Legends. We got those swords again, meaning these are melee. Here's Warp again. Warp again has stayed with me for quite some time. But really fun game. Plays pretty much the same way as Tactic Legends, but here you can kind of see this little icon here. So this would mean it's a wild card. So what would happen is this brought in like resources and stuff. So you had resources in your deck. So it wasn't very fun. So this one cost 2 resources to bring this out into the game, or the field, you can call it. But very weird game, I guess you can say. I mean, they're all elements, and this is how much attack it did. They all had flavor text, which was pretty cool. Again, it has that level system. Very, I don't know, it's exactly like Tactical Legends. Here's Ori again. Again, he's followed me forever. I mean, it's alright. This dragon took many things to get him to come out, and he's a level 3. And I think level 3 was the highest I went up into with Pandora. And then you got games like Tactical Legends went up to 5, I think, or 5 or 6. It went up there. But very cool. Very neat stuff. This one had some spells too, and then some random stuff. Here's and one of those elements that you would have to play to put guys out, or whatever. Played almost like Magic with a Tactical Legends feel, I guess. So after that, I said, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to make my own Tactical Legends game. Go back to my roots. No more resources. No more anything. So here's the big box. Everybody is should be aware of this game right here. So this is Tactic Legends in its entirety. This came with a board, really cool layout here. I added these flaps. I don't think I actually ever did a video with this, but I added these flaps for some extra awesomeness to the game. So here's the game board and what it looked like, which is pretty cool, very unique. So you have monsters right here, and they go throughout the dungeon until they get to the opening. So your job was to stop that from happening. So you wanted to kill all the monsters, and each monster has like different amount of crystals that you would get, and once you got 10 crystals, you won the game. So you could purchase some new heroes from here. You could also purchase some new items from here, and that would just buff up your characters. Very cool. You'd have the guild deck there, the market deck, of course the discard pile, and then, oh my gosh, the starter deck. So that was the board. The board for the game is really cool. I think that was neat. I also, let me lean this down here, have a story for the entire game. So this is Tactic Legends, the whole story of it. As you can see, now we're going back to my old art. So very unique in that sense. Also came with rules. So on the other side of that was a rule side. So there's that. And then inside is where all the magic happens. So right here are all the monsters in the game. So tons of cards in this game. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of cards. Oh, those are upside down. So all these different cards. So take this Chimera for instance. Right here is that level system again. So you got that would be a level 3. Here's that crystal I was talking about. So after you killed a monster, you would gain that 1 crystal or these shards, which is those right there. And then here's its life, attack, and defense. The directions tell you all that fun stuff, and then each one's got its own abilities. And this one would be melee. Melee, and then this one would be magic, and then you have ranged in here as well. So you got, of course, all sorts of different creatures in here. And right here you see the Weaver. It gives you, if you kill it, it gives you two shards. Now the levels didn't really make much sense for the monsters because they would come out randomly. It has nothing to do with the actual level system, so you never actually play with the actual monsters themselves. But there are some abilities that give you pretty much take monsters and you can put them into your hand. And this is the only time that you have to use the level system that would make sense for it anyways. But it plays the same way, kind of like Tactic Legends and stuff like that. But of course, you can't have monsters without heroes. So right here we have the heroes of the game. So you got like the Ooze-mancer, and then you've got the Cleric, and then you've got a Rogue, then you've got a Scout, and the Oracle. I mean, there's heroes for days. Very unique. There are duplicates in this game, so you have a chance of getting certain cards. So I want to make sure I put these away correctly. There's those, and then here's your base deck. So this is the one you would draw from every turn, and that would give you, holy smokes, that would give you like different items, and then you'd have different potions, and then you'd have different skills that you can play. You'd also get some heroes in there that you can play, and then of course you could sell all this to buy stuff from the actual market. So that was very cool and unique about it. Oh jeez. And then of course you can't have just creatures out there without additional items from the market deck. So you got all this cool stuff. So many cards in this game, it's ridiculous. So here it is, Tactic Legends. This is what the game ended up being. So very cool game. It's pretty much just a stop the monsters from leaving the dungeon kind of game. Very cool. I love this. Huge, heavy box. It's made out of wood, and then wrapped with duct tape. So there's Tactic Legends. I said, Tactic Legends, very fun game, but I want to make it more interesting. I want to go back to dueling against somebody. So here's probably one of my favorite games of all time that I've ever made in my entire life, and it comes in this box right here, and it's called C&D Arena. So if you guys, again, haven't seen that video, check out my other channel. C&D Arena is a very fast-paced kind of game using dice and using abilities, and we have this guy right here. We got the snowman. So pretty much, briefly, again, same level system as before. So what would happen is this one would be a level 2. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's kind of like this weird 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one will only go up to 4. And then you got these abilities here on the side, and then the name, the creature, and then of course you have the life, the attack, the defense, and then you have gold. So very fun game. I really like this. The way I designed it was pretty cool. I don't know why I haven't made it into Game Crafter yet. Probably just because it's a whole lot of work, and I've already done it. I don't know. Another thing that was unique was the backs to these. I really love the back to these cards just because the name isn't there, which I thought was cool. So I kind of like wanted to make it like almost like a pub game, like where you just like back in the old days, you would just go to the pub and pick up a game of C&D, and then what would happen is I'd duel with my friends, and I would duel. So I'd, like, for some reason, I just didn't want to put a name to the back, but at the same time, when I look at the back, I know it's C&D. But I'll show you guys some of these cards here real quick. So we've got the Bonefish, we've got the Slime King, we've got the Bard, we've got the Priest, we've got the Crawler, Crawler. A Slime. We've got the Sandman and the Dark Dragon. I'll show you a few more, because these ones are really cool. I like this game. That is upside down. So we've got the Sylph, and then we've got Anubis, the Gravedigger, a Wizard, Wizard. We've got an Engineer, a Mime, Murloc, Skeleton, Militia. Another cool thing about this game is I drew every single piece of art. So I think there's 360 cards in here. So a whole bunch of cards. I mean, there's a bunch of cards in here. And this took a long time to do. Obviously, I recycled a lot of art from Tactical Legends. Tactical Legends took me around 2 years to create, the one that I did all the art for. But of course, when I made C&D, I had to make a whole bunch more art. There's no duplicates in this one at all, so it's 360 unique cards. That was the cool thing with C&D. Every single time you played, you're playing like in an arena, so that was fun. So after I made that, I believe Paper Products Inc. posted a video which Kiwi said, hey, you should check this one out. This one might interest you. So I said, all right, let me take a look at it. And it was my introduction to Game Crafter. As soon as I heard about Game Crafter, I rushed a game out. I rushed it real bad out. I didn't even release it to anybody because it wasn't good. But I did a game called C&D Rogue, which, if I open this up, it's not very good. It's kind of a very strange game. But very weird. What you would do is you go through a dungeon, and nothing like the actual Tactical Legends and stuff like that, but you go through a dungeon, and behind every door was something different, and you'd only have so many actions, and you'd have to eat food, and you only had so much gold. After playing it numerous times, I realized nothing was balanced at all. The game was a complete flop. I kind of want to go back to it, just because I really would love to make a solitaire game, which was cool, completely solitaire. But because it was a complete flop, it was just like, you know what, maybe I should just start on something else. And what I did was I made this game right here called Spellbook, and this is the deluxe box. So I sat down for a while and I thought of some really cool ideas, and really kind of balanced some stuff out with this one. And I thought to myself, you know what, I've always wanted to be some kind of a wizard, or at least cast spells on friends that I don't like, or friends that I want to pull pranks on. So I made this cool game right here. So what this one does is it allows you to, allows you to turn cards all upside down, to pretty much cast spells. So you're attacking your opponent right here, and what you're doing is you are trying to whittle down his life, which his life is represented by the actual deck that he is using. So each one of these cards does something else, between attack spells, protect spells, summon spells, trap spells, luck spells, dead spells, all sorts of different spells. And then of course you got different items like alchemy, and then you've got some equipment that gives you, like, oh, there we go, some robes. Here's alchemy. But very fun game. I've played this game a lot. I think there's 300 and something cards in here as well. All of them are unique as well. I really like the whole, I never really got into duplicates. I tried duplicates for a little while, and then I didn't get into them. And now I think I'm kind of getting back into them, but with Spellbook, I didn't. I liked how every time I picked up a pile of cards, I'd turn it into a deck, and I knew that it was going to be random every time. And that's what makes Spellbook a little bit unique, because every game is completely different. So there is Spellbook. Very cool game. This one's on Game Crafter, so if you guys are interested, very neat. All right. Besides that, I think that's it. Let's see. Oh, I guess I didn't bring it down here. Oh, yes, I did. So, obviously, all the way up until now, what I have here is Dreamscape. So this is pretty much all the cards that I have for it so far. Very, very cool. I put them in sleeves and whatnot, but you guys, I can't even take the credit for this, because you guys in the TCG community here on YouTube have really, 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 made this game possible. I mean, this is your guys' art. This is your guys' project, and all I do is just help out in whatever ways I possibly could. And I can't take full credit on this at all, but I could say that it is a game that we made, and this is a game I'm truly proud of, just because of the feedback. We've got now a series that's coming out on this. I love this game. I really do. This is definitely, C&D is my favorite game. It's always going to touch my heart, obviously, because my I guess you can say my company is called C&D Games, but I will always love Dreamscape as probably my starter, because again, I started this video saying P&D or PD cards. This is how we played it. This is exactly how we played Pokemon back in the day. It was PD cards, that's this one right here. Hey everybody, I want to showcase a couple really quick games that I have on my computer that never made it outside of my computer, and this right here is just a couple quick things. I figured I'd go through since I'm doing this huge video. Right here is called Beast Battle. Now I kind of went back to my old ways where I didn't do my own art, but this one was supposed to stay internal. I would never make this, obviously, sell it to anybody. But right here, obviously not my own art, but plays the same way as like Dreamscape did or does. Very cool, very unique in a weird sense, because it has these weird like boxes showing what its weakness is and what its strengths are. So there's Beast Battle. C&D Rogue, already did. C&D 2, this one was kind of weird. It would have this kind of like weird aspect of, these tags, which is something I started in C&D Rogue. And then went with this, and I was like, I don't know if I like this at all. But yeah, this never made it outside my computer. I would never do C&D 2. I enjoyed C&D 1. But there's that for you guys. And then Heroes Quest. I don't remember what this is. Oh, this is just like C&D Rogue. I'm not getting into that. Quest was a crazy, crazy idea that I had. If you guys ever watched any of Red Penguin's stuff before he left, this was kind of reminiscent of that. This I did like 4 years ago, though. This is like right when I started making TCGs, like on my computer. So you used to have all these different bosses, and then you get all these different kind of heroes and items, and there's the rules, and oh, holy smokes. And then you have a quest, and each one of these you had to do something different, and then you got different rewards. It was craziness. There's Quest. This was actually Spellbook before it became Spellbook. Very, very weird. I don't know. Here we go with some crazy template that I never did anything with, but I took some art from C&D. And then I started doing this. I don't even know what half this stuff is. This is mostly just me showcasing. And then I'm like, oh, let me make a war game. And I tried doing that. It was called War, but it didn't play like War. But you had to have cards to attack, then you had to have cards to equip yourself with, and then each one of your characters had different skills. This one actually wouldn't be too bad to work on. This is the rarity and whatnot. It's kind of like Diablo, so this would be more like a rare card, whereas in like Endure would be your common card, so you just gain 2 defense, I guess. I don't know where I was going with it. So I really wanted to showcase this one as well. This is the current game I'm working on, so I am literally not only rebooting, but I've updated Tactic Legends, and it It plays just like the way that it does in the box, but it comes in a much smaller version, a little bit more challenging to those of you guys who are interested in a solitaire game, and a little bit more challenging in the aspect. You still have to get crystals, but instead of 10, you just need 3, and those 3 are represented by cards. Here, I'll just show you really quick. Looks just like C&D Rogue. I really like the look of the game. It's just I wish it played a lot better than it did. But you'd have these 3 stones inside of your dungeon deck, and the goal is to go through the dungeon deck and defeat monsters until you can find these 3 stones. And here are all the monsters. Very cool. There's some duplicates in this one. You'd also have treasures, which the treasures are cool, so you can equip this to yourself and give you +2 attack. But before you could do that, this would attach itself to a monster, so the monster gains +2 attack and is immune to the magic attack. So when this is played, a monster comes on top of it, gets this buff, but when you defeat the monster, you get this treasure. So very cool. Not completely unique. I know a couple other games have started using that, but I had to give it a little bit of pizzazz. And then more monsters. So you get a base deck just like you do in Tactical Legends, the other box, and you get a whole bunch of these creatures, heroes, and then you get some gold and stuff. And then you can purchase new heroes from the guild deck, and you can also purchase items from the market deck. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to showcase that really quickly, but that's pretty much all I have. So that's pretty much it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video kind of inspires you. You know, it takes me through my journey of, you know, creating card games, and like I said, I love it. I've got a huge passion for it. I'll never stop making card games, or board games for that fact. But if you guys like this video, please let me know down below. What was your favorite game that you saw in this video? What really kind of, you know, is going to take you and inspire you? And then, you know, subscribe if you like these up-to-date videos on all these new TCG creators, or on the TCG community card game Dreamscape, or on any of these crazy videos. Let me know and subscribe, because this way you can get, you know, stay up to date always. And other than that, that's pretty much it. You know, like the video, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions, comments, you know, any of that fun stuff. If you guys think I should do a how to make a TCG, you know, put that down below. I'd like to hear about that. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I know it's been a really long video, but if you stayed all the way here down towards the end of the video, you know, congratulations, because this one's been a long haul for sure. That's pretty much all I got, but you guys have a great rest of your weekend, or week, or summer, for that fact. It's not really a weekend anymore, because I think today's Monday. But other than that, you guys have a great rest of your day, and, you know, thanks for watching.